Hey Explorers, I'm Robert.
And I'm Jessica.
With Exploring the Local Life, and today we wanted to talk to you about
boondocking tips. And not just our boondocking tips, we got together with other RVers, Hippe The Tech, Camp Addict, I'm Not Lost I'm RVing, and the Trekkers to bring you our #1 tips so that way you know how to go boondocking.
Let's go do it.
Hello everyone, I am Kelly Beasley. I'm co-founder of a website called campaddict.com, and I'm a full-time boondocker. I've been at it for 4 years now. So I'm here to share with you my best boondocking tip. And I actually came up with kind of 2, maybe 2.5. I think these are the most important if you want to boondock full-time. Have this down. Number 1, smaller is better. Kind of seems logical, but the smaller your rig is, the shorter you are in length, the more maneuverable you're going to be and the more places you're going to be able to go. Nothing worse than getting to a site and realizing you're not going to be able to make it down that road because there's trees overhanging or the curves are too sharp or it's too narrow, whatever. So I have a 24-foot travel trailer I pull with now a Ford Raptor. I'm a little bit long, but I have the hinge in the middle, which makes me a little bit more maneuverable than, say, a 42-foot Class A would be. So that's, again, kind of logical, but hopefully if you're just thinking about boondocking or you haven't bought anything yet, smaller is better. Number 2, don't push your tow capacity or your capacity if you have a motorhome. You're definitely going to inhibit your places you're going to be able to go. You're more likely to get stuck if you're overweight. You may not be able to get to certain places if you have, say, a 7,000 pound tow capacity and you're pulling a 6,500 pound trailer. Yeah, you're going to be getting into trouble. So keep it short and keep it light. And I guess that's what I'm going to do as well. Those are my tips for you. Hope they help.
Hi, I'm Stacy.
And I'm Thomas.
And we're I'm Not Lost I'm RVing.
We're actually currently boondocking out here in beautiful Moab, Utah. And if we had to give you one tip for boondocking, it would be to limit your trash.
That's right. We live in a 24-foot Class C and trash builds up really quickly. It is our only vehicle and we can accumulate about 3 bags of trash a week.
Yeah, because we have a small RV, we really have nowhere to put it, so we actually put it in our shower.
And it can get stinky real quick. So we want to give you some tips on how you can reduce your own trash consumption. Tip number 1 would be to eliminate any additional packaging. What I mean by that is if you're going to go grocery shopping before you hit your boondocking spot, go ahead and eliminate any packaging that you can and you can still safely store your food.
Yeah, for example, let's say you're gonna put some sodas into your refrigerator. Why not go ahead and get them out of that cardboard box when you're still in the parking lot and just throw that box away while you're there so you're not taking it out to wherever you're boondocking at and have to store it until you can throw it away somewhere else. So take care of some stuff like that. Tip number 2 would be to burn your cardboard or paper, of course, if it's allowable and you're even allowed to do it in the first place. So if you're gonna have a campfire, why not burn some of that cardboard and paper so you can kind of reduce on having to store that trash?
Our last tip is going to be a little controversial depending on who you talk to. It would be to not be afraid to use regular dishes. What I mean by that is whenever you get into paper and plastic utensils and paper plates and stuff like that, those things can add up real quick, especially if you're eating multiple meals a day. So if you can just learn to conserve water while washing dishes, that's gonna help you reduce your trash. I would much rather carry around extra gallons of water than extra bags of trash.
Yeah, they don't, water doesn't smell bad like trash does. And it's really simple. Like, let's say we use a pot to boil some rice in. We'll just use that pot to wash dishes in throughout the day. And then when we're done, we'll finish up that pot and that will be it for that day or the couple of days. So don't be afraid to use some water. It's okay.
We really hope you guys enjoyed these tips and thank you so much, Jessica, for having us on your channel.
Hi, I'm Ari.
And I'm Jessie. And together we're the Trekkers.
Our #1 boondocking tip is don't be afraid of it. Get out there and try it. You may hear a lot of people talking about how you need fancy lithium batteries and 3 and 4 different solar panels, but just find what works for you. And we know people that boondock with a single battery, and you don't have to have a super fancy setup to at least try it and see if you like it.
Right. I think the best advice is just you do you. Get out there, whether it's for a night, a weekend, or however long you think you can go. It's just
get out there and explore and find out what works for you. Some of our best adventures have been out in the middle of nowhere, and I really want everybody to have those same kind of adventures as we do. So find out what type of equipment works for you and just get out there.
Start with what you have. Don't worry about having to spend a lot of money to try it, and then see if it's for you, and maybe you'll find something new that you didn't know you would enjoy. If you want to find out more about the adventures that we take and how we boondock, you can look us up at trekkers.org, and we're also on YouTube at Trekkers with 1K.
Hey guys, this is Tony with Hippe The Tech, and today we're talking about boondocking tips. And the tip I want to talk about, I wish I knew from day one, and that is scouting your site. So when it comes time to look for a boondocking spot and you're in the area, it might be to your advantage to disconnect the tow vehicle or drop the trailer just until you know that the road is safe enough to travel on. We've gone down roads where we took the Class A, followed by the Jeep, and ended up in a dead end, and we had to disconnect the Jeep and do like a 15-point turn. It was really hard to get out. We've been down roads that our RV had no business going down, so it's really important to scout out ahead of time. Another thing to do when you're scouting for a boondock site is look on Campendium or Google Maps. The nice thing about Campendium is there's reviews, and a lot of times that they'll tell you that the road's really bad, this is good for large vehicles, this is good for small vehicles. The other thing is Google Maps. I have my GPS on my phone, I have my iPad on my dashboard, and I have Google Maps up, and I'm looking at the satellite image so I can kind of see if I'm going to be able to get out when I get in. Another fun fact is how many days you can stay out on BLM property. Most of them are 14 days max, but you really want to check with the Bureau of Land Management or the authority having jurisdiction over that area. The other really important thing is understanding the difference between BLM, Bureau of Land Management, and a land trust. The land trust you're going to probably need to have a permit for, and there'll be some rangers going around checking for that. So it's really important to not get caught without a permit. And lastly, make sure you're giving people some space. You don't want to be on top of each other. And if the site's kind of congested and you see somebody outside, maybe just ask, hey, is it okay if we're over here? Because the last thing you want to do is be next to unhappy campers.
So, now that you've heard from our friends, what is our #1 boondocking tip?
To think conservation of your water and your electricity.
Resources.
Because when you're out there, you're not going to have any connections. There's not going to be a sewer. There's not going to be any water. There's not going to be any electricity, right? So you need to make sure that you are not using those up very quickly. You want to pace yourself.
And by conservation, we don't mean dehydrate yourself, Always be mindful of your water, always carry extra, but make sure to drink up. And I'm not just talking about the beers. So, water is essential. Don't just be washing dishes without a plan. Make sure you can reuse that water downstream from that dish that you're cleaning. Electricity. So most of the time, what's going to run off of your batteries are going to be your lights, right? And you might have a 12-volt DC outlet in your RV that also will let you plug things in and keep things running and charged. But again, come on guys, we're boondocking, conserve. Go outside, read a book, don't use up all your precious battery level. Exactly, enjoying nature, being outside, using that sun. That's the best way to save on your electricity and making best use of your water. Yep. And also take those really quick showers or wipes. Alright everyone, so those are our #1 tips. Be sure to tell us what your best tips and what you want to know more about in the comments below. And of course, a big thank you to all our contributors. Make sure that you check out their channels as well. They're awesome people, they're our friends, and obviously they know something about boondocking. Exactly, so you're not going to find very many better resources than these folks. So make sure to check out www.exploringthelocallife.com. Check out our YouTube, which you're doing right now, our Instagram, and our Facebook. And also, in the notes below, if you have any questions about our camera, we're using a Lumix GX85. We're finding it's a pretty handy-dandy camera, so if you like it, make sure to check it out. Thank you guys. We'll catch you on the next one. Bye. Bye.